I fled him down the night and down the days. I fled him down the arches of the years. I fled him down the labyrinthine ways of my own mind, and in the midst of tears I hid from him, and under running laughter, up vistaed hopes I sped, and shot precipitated adown titanic glooms of chasmed fears, from those strong feet that followed after. But with unhurrying chase and unperturbed pace, deliberate speed, majestic instancy, they beat, and a voice beat, more instant than the feet. All things betray thee, who betrayest me. I knew all the swift importings on the wilful face of skies. I knew how the clouds arise, spumed of the wild sea snortings. All that's born or dies, rose and drooped with, made them shapers of mine own moods, or wailful or divine. With them joyed and was bereaven, I was heavy with the even when she lit her glimmering tapers round the day's dead sanctities. I laughed in the morning's eyes, I triumphed and I saddened with all the weather. Heaven and I wept together, and its sweet tears were salt with mortal mine. Against the red throb of its sunset heart I laid my own to beat and share commingling heat, but not by that was eased by human smart. In vain my tears were wet on heaven's grey cheek, for we know not what each other's says. These things and I in sound I speak, their sound is but their stir, they speak by silences. Nature, poor stepdame, cannot slake my drouth. Let her, if she would owe me, drop yon blue bosom veil of sky and show me the breasts of her tenderness. Never did any milk of her once bless my thirsting mouth. Nigh and nigh draws the chase with unperturbed pace, deliberate speed, majestic instancy, and past those noised feet a voice comes yet more fleet. Lo, naught contents thee who contentest not me. Naked I wake, thy love's uplifted stroke, my harness piece by piece thou hast hewn from me and smitten to my knee. I am defenseless utterly, I slept methinks and woke, and slowly gazing find me stripped in sleep. In the rash lust ahead of my young powers I shook the pillaring hours, and pulled my life upon me, grimed with smears. I stand amid dust of the mounded years, my mangled youth lies dead beneath a heap. My days have crackled and gone up in smoke, have puffed and burst as sun starts on a stream. Yea, faileth now even dream, the dreamer and the lutanist, even the linked fantasies in whose blossomy twist I swung the earth a trinket at my wrist, are yielding, cords of all too weak account. For earth with heavy grief so overplussed, is thy love indeed, a weed, albeit an amaranthine weed, suffering no flowers except its own to mount. Must, designer infinite, must thou char the wood ere thou canst limn with it. My freshness spent its wavering shower in the dust, and now my heart is as a broken fount, wherein tear-drippings stagnate spilt down ever from the dank thoughts that shiver upon the sighful branches of my mind. Such is what is to be. The pulp so bitter, how shall taste the rind? I dimly guess what time in mists confounds. Yet ever and anon a trumpet sounds from the hid battlements of eternity. Those shaken mists a space unsettle, then round the half-glimpsed turrets slowly wash again. But not ere him who summoneth I first have seen enwound with glooming robes purpureal cypress crowned. His name I know, and what his trumpet saith, whether man's heart or life it be which yields the harvest, must thy harvest fields be dunged with rotten death. Now of that long pursuit comes on at hand the brute that voices round me like a bursting sea, and is thy earth so marred, shattered in shard on shard? Lo, all things fly thee, for thou fliest me. Strange, piteous, futile thing, wherefore should any set thee love apart, seeing none but I make such of naught, he said. And human love needs human meriting. How hast thou merited of all man's clotted clay the dingiest clot? Alack, thou knowest not how little worthy of any love thou art. Whom wilt thou find to love ignoble thee, save me, save only me? All which I took from thee I did but take, not for thy harms, but just that thou mightst seek it in my arms. All of which thy child's mistake fancies as lost I have stored for thee at home. Rise, clasp my hand, and come, halts by me that footfall. Is my gloom, after all, shade of his hand outstretched caressingly? Ah, fondest, blindest, weakest, I am he whom thou seekest. Thou dravest love from thee who dravest me. Francis Thompson.